sky's so pretty right now. I wonder.
It seems to be that no way I sit can I not get a glare on my glasses. Hello, and happy Saturday, also known as my reset day. Today's video is going to be just a little bit different than normal. I'm doing more of like a vlog style that I have not done yet on this channel. A few videos ago, I shared my little Notion tour and how I did my weekly planning, which all stems from my weekly reset. And I wanted to take you guys with me as I did my weekly reset this week so that you could see what all I include in that and how I kind of get ready for my next week. I do have to say this reset is just a little bit different than what I normally do. My husband is out of town. He is a field meteorologist, so he's out there chasing tornadoes or whatever he's doing right now. Normally he is here with me. I do my weekly reset like as soon as I get up. I get up like my normal time that I would throughout the week at 6:30, and then I do my weekly reset in the morning, and then we go and get breakfast together and we talk about our week and we do a short Bible study together, and then we also go over finances if it's the end of the month and just check in with each other and see how the week went and what we can do to support each other next week. Once we get done with our little breakfast brunch thing, which is normally around noon, we kind of move into our 24 hours of rest, are also known as our Sabbath. And normally we just take the rest of the day to chill and hang out and relax and just get ready for the week and rest. So obviously that's not happening this week because he's not here, so I'm on my own doing my own little reset, but the rest of my day after that is going to be as normal. I've already done my little morning routine for the day, so I'm just gonna jump right on in. It's getting a little chilly in here. Yes, I do realize that it's not fall. Tried to let my hair dry naturally today, but it's actually deceivingly thick, so it takes a long time to dry, which is so annoying, and it just like, I don't even know what it does. This is kind of wild, but I'm just gonna put it in a clip. I suppose I need a new clip. So go ahead and get this up and out of the way. I guarantee you now that my hair will not dry all day because I put in this clip. A lot of my reset takes place on my computer, so I normally just sit down and get started. The first thing I do is look over my weekly data, and I talk about this more in depth in my 2023 Notion tour video. Then I move on to my Be Clear, which is just cleaning out my desktop and my email, and that usually only takes me 5 minutes, and then we do a little happy dance that it's done. Then I move on to my Be Current section, which is a lot more of my in-depth weekly planning. I usually start with some of the easier tasks, like adding things to my calendar or doing the actual weekly brain dump that I do, because those just are quick and easy things to cross off my list. And I also cover these things in my 2023 Notion tour. Alright, I already made it through half of my Be Current things. Kind of itching to get up and move around a little bit, so we're just gonna pop outside and see what the temperature is. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I like to mix in my Be Clean things as well, just to get up and moving around a little bit, and this includes things that I just really like to have clean. They're not really like heavy cleaning tasks, but I just think it makes my week easier to have these things done.
Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Best thing that I'll ever know.
Alright, well, I lied a little bit. It is colder than I thought it was outside. Now I'm going back to finish all my Be Current things and get those out of the way. The task that takes me the longest in my weekly reset right now is actually updating our finances. My husband and I are working pretty hard to get out of debt right now, and we are tracking every single thing that we spend. And it helps quite a bit, but it does take a while to get all those things in there. Once I finish the last few items on my Be Current list, I go ahead and finish up the rest of my Be Clean list.
It's all we need.
All right, so weekly reset is officially finished. And I actually did that pretty quick. I did it in about an hour and a half. Normally when Sean is home, he can help me with some of the outdoor things, which makes it go a little bit faster, but honestly, it's usually not that bad since I get up early on Saturdays to get that done with. We're normally off to breakfast by a decent time. So it's not that bad, even though it seems like there's a lot of things on my list to do. They go pretty quick and they're not like difficult and long tasks. They're just kind of things that I do to make the week a little bit easier. I do really like to get this stuff done though before I start my 24 hours of rest, because if not, it's going to be bothering me. I'm going to be thinking about it the entire time. Or sometimes I've even like allowed myself to continue working on it throughout my rest period, and then I just end up like extending it between like 2 or 3 days because I'm like, oh, I can just do it when I want to. But I really try to get it done early in the morning and just knock it all out. Since Sean's not here, I did wake up a little bit later than normal and got going a little bit later than normal. So it is lunchtime now, and I think I have some leftover taco meat, so it's going to be nachos for lunch today. I just took this goofy picture of Luna and Nico to send to Sean. Goofballs. All right, so I wanted to talk real quick about my 24 hours of rest. I think sometimes we hear the word Sabbath and we just kind of cringe a little bit. And I think that has a lot to do with just the stereotypes around it. Like when I hear that word, I immediately think, oh, it has to be on Sunday and I'm going to not do anything and spend the whole day in prayer or something like that. But that's not entirely the case. If you haven't read the book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer, you definitely should add to your list. It was an absolutely amazing book. I read it, I think about 2 or 3 years ago now, and it completely changed the way that I viewed Sabbath and realizing that it does not have to be on Sunday. It can be a 24-hour period, no matter how it fits into your schedule, and that you can still do things. Like, as odd as that sounds, like, it doesn't have to be you just like sitting there and not doing anything. It's really a time for you to do some activities that are restful to you, that are relaxing, that maybe connect you with your loved ones or your family. And then, of course, spending some time just being grateful for the week that you had and spending some time in prayer. It doesn't have to be the whole time, but at least having a heart posture of being like, oh, like this is a time for me to be grateful for this week and to reset and get ready for next week. I mentioned a little bit earlier that my husband and I do a short Bible study when we do our Saturday meetings. And then when we get home, that kind of jumpstarts right into our 24 hours of rest. I really like doing this because that means our 24 hours starts about noon on Saturday and ends about noon on Sunday. So we start with a little Bible study and then we end with church. And then we still have time in the morning on Saturday to get some things done for the week. And then we also have the afternoon on Sunday to do meal prep and whatever else we might need to do before the week starts. Even if you don't share my faith, that's okay. But I still want to encourage you to take 24 hours to rest, because this could be a time where you put your phone down for a little bit or put away your laptop and stop working and taking some time to do some things that you like to do, whether that be hobbies or just binging out, watching some TV or whatever it might be, because that really helps you to just kind of relax after a long week and then be ready to tackle the next week as it comes. A lot of the time we take our Saturday afternoons to do some house projects together, because It's fun for us and we get to connect with each other a little bit more. But I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the times these nights end up being like Xbox nights for us. It really kind of depends on how the week went. If it was a crazy week, we really just want to sit down and like not do much at all. But if we had some projects that we really wanted to get to, then we would work on those. Today definitely just feels like one of those days where I want to be a couch potato. But I do want to get the trim done in the bedroom because it's been halfway done for probably 2 or 3 weeks now. So it just needs to be finished. Well, this is gonna be fun. The last time I did this, I put the putty on like the nail holes and stuff, but then I went around immediately and just wiped it off with like the extra parts off with the paper towel before it was like all the way dry. But this has been sitting for like 2 to 3 weeks and it is dry. So I'm probably gonna have to sand, which is a bummer.
Let it wash over all of me. With you I form my company. Forever close to the unknown. There's no doubts and no regret. Happy before we get another day to do it all again.
Alright, that didn't actually end up being as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was afraid that the sanding block would essentially take off all the paint from the trim itself, but it didn't. It just took off the putty, which is good. So now I'm gonna grab my paint and get to it.
We lay in the daylight under the old oak tree. It's simple, beautiful, it's all we need. Chasing the wonder endlessly. Further in.
Alright, got the trim finished and I think it looks pretty good. Can't see the nail holes anymore. The only thing I'm not sure about is like this portion over here. I can see the brush strokes really bad. I'm not entirely sure why it's so bad on that one wall. I don't feel like I see it on the other wall like that, but it might be because of how the natural light is coming into the room, because that side wouldn't be getting the natural light and this side would be, so that might like brighten it a little bit so that you can't see the brush strokes as much. I'm not entirely sure, but if it's gonna stay like that, I'm gonna let it dry first, and if it still looks like that in 2 days, then I'll reevaluate it. But I think if it still looks like that, I'm probably going to have to put tape down by the wall and then like roll it so it's even. It really struck me recently that I have a bad attitude towards my home, and that sounds so terrible, but I think it's more just that there are portions of my home that are not even close to what I want it to look like at all. So it's so easy to get focused on the fact that like I hate the paint in the living room, or the shower is really gross, or anything like that, and to not remember to be grateful that I even have a house to begin with. We moved into this house and knowing that it was a fixer-upper and planning that we would be fixing it for quite a while, but it sometimes makes it hard to like continue to be in all those rooms that you have like these huge plans for, and they're just not there yet. I am definitely trying to change the way I think about all the different rooms that may not be finished or may not even be started, quite honestly. And also just trying to keep an eye on the bigger picture and remember what the eventual vision is for the room, instead of just getting so fixated on the fact that the paint might not be what I want it to be. If you identify with that feeling that you wish your home just looked a little bit different or had a different layout or anything like that, I can encourage you that it really does help when you start to work on some projects or do some small things where you are putting your heart into the home, and it makes it feel more like yours because you just put work into it and now you can see that work and it pays off. For me, taking time to paint the trim or dream about decor or anything like that helps me stay invested in the home and remember that it is something that I personally do get to put my heart into. It helps me just change my mindset around it to be a little bit more positive and a little bit less complainy. Needless to say, there are going to be plenty of home projects coming up this year for me. I'm going to try to keep my hands busy and keep dreaming about how I want this space to look eventually. That did take a little bit longer than I was expecting it to because I had to sand instead of just wiping it off, but that's okay. I'm going to sign off and go get myself some dinner and veg out on the couch for the rest of the night. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I know it was a little bit different than what I normally do, but I don't know, I had fun making it, so hopefully you have fun watching it. Give me a heads up in the comments if you think that I should do more videos like this, or if I should just keep doing the more like talky, teachy ones. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.